She said that he was really stoic, and this made me laugh. She said he was an attentive gentleman, a normal guy pretending he was in a K-drama.
3초 안에 말해.
네?
하나,
오빠, 아니,
둘,
제가 실은 전부터 선배를
셋,
좋아했는데.
땡. 싫어.
아, 그럼 이거라도 받아주세요.
Then there's an older Korean couple walking towards Tae. Tae stands up to greet them, and she's like, who are these people? So then they sit down with Tae and Meg. Guys, I kid you not, these were his parents. What's up, idols? It's CC Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel. Got another I'm lazy hat day. For my fellow nerds out there, what's your sorting house? Who can guess my sorting house? I think it's obvious, personally. I am still in shock for the way you guys reacted to that Korean baby daddy video. I know doing YouTube there are peaks and valleys. Right now this is a peak that I am enjoying so much, and it's been so long since I had this kind of peak. This month alone I got more subscribers than I did all of 2022. So when I say this year has been immeasurably better, I mean that. I also want to thank my channel members. As always, please watch this video until the very end. We've been doing this whole Game of Thrones for the watch, for the algo, for the engagement.
For the watch.
For the watch.
Except Ali was a little piece of shit. So from now on, if you guys want to comment and help support me but you don't know what to say, just say for the algo, for the engagement, for the watch. Binge my videos. I've been putting them in playlists. Hundreds of videos on my channel sorted into dating story times, rants in Korea, vlogs in Korea. All this support has been so unexpected, but also incredibly motivating, so I will keep working hard. 감사합니다. So this story time today, first, this is what she wanted me to actually say to y'all directly. I notice a lot of melanated queens want to know our race. I'll tell you, I'm a black girl from Arizona. Though it is true that white people are considered more attractive in Korea, they often face the same mistreatment as we do. All non-Koreans are foreigners. My white friends from Sweden get ghosted and fuckboyed. She said fuckboyed. Like it's a verb now.
빌릴 수 있어요? 언제 빌려요?
Just as much as my black friends from South Africa or the States. One thing I like about your videos is we can easily insert ourselves into the stories and these scenarios. Race doesn't matter because we're all foreigners there. Like I've been saying. We're all in this together. Just to offer a little bit of a explanation for that. The way these emails go, usually they want to be anonymous because there's a lot of comments that tend to be more judgmental and slut shaming or calling her naive or Korea boos and just a lot of unnecessary hate. So these girls ask to be anonymous because they want to be anonymous. They don't really provide a lot of details like, oh, I'm black, oh, I'm Chinese, I'm 5'4", I have brown skin, curly. Like they don't really give details about themselves. So I don't really know either. There's been a few that's come to me through DMs on Instagram. Y'all can follow me there, CC Lesson 3. So then I was able to see what they look like. But a lot of these times these are emails and I have no idea what they look like either. And to be fair, if they don't tell me their race, I don't really want to dig for more information that they may or may not feel comfortable providing. They usually tell me where they're from, what they do, and then they spill some tea. I've had some from Spain, Eastern Europe, the US, South Africa, Canada. It's just kind of all over the place. Sometimes they specifically ask for a designated Disney princess. Sometimes I have to just assign one. And I do get a bit protective of these because, you know, I want people to still feel comfortable sharing this with us because they're not doing this to gain anything. Like they haven't asked me for money. They haven't asked me for like Instagram follows or clout or anything like that. They just want to share their experiences and warn/inform you guys, and I think that is beautiful about this community. So anyway, mini rant over. For those who must know, this girl is black and she too would like a Disney identity, so we're gonna go with Meg.
Meg.
But I kinda miss Meg. Shut up, Meg!
Not her, from Hercules. So Meg just moved to Korea this spring as a college student. So everything right now is a completely brand new experience for her. She said so far it's not at all what she expected. There's a lot more foreigners than she thought there would be. People are really nice and pleasant to her. And a lot of Koreans actually speak pretty basic English. She was not expecting that whatsoever. Yes, Korea has racist people. Every country has racist people. I would never call a whole country of people racist because the majority of people are not. But the ones who are, their hate and their negative behavior just tends to be the loudest. I'm gonna say, don't let these hateful people keep you from living your life and do it when you want to do, because if you do that, then they win.
Well, you know what?
Sorry, I got a lot of main character energy today. Even though I'm quite literally just the narrator. Anywho, Meg did say that Before she got to Korea, a lot of her prep work included the occasional YouTube video, hence me, how she found me. Thank you, girl, for watching. And she said she learned enough from watching a lot of foreigners living in Korea story times that dating apps are a waste of time, and she was not about to do that. Her time is precious. So you may be wondering how she met this fella we're gonna be talking about, and that's another interesting story. She actually experienced something that I think is pretty common in South Korea. This happened to me and one of my friends, and for my channel members, if you guys saw that Gwangyonggur vlog I did, it was like a cave. All right, we are at a cave today. I'm here with my girl Jinnae. Oh, this is the entrance. It just says entrance. It says 외국인. It says foreigner on the ticket. Oh, wow. Why? I wonder. We've been branded foreigners. Me and that friend, Janae, we were out vlogging and everything, and we were at the bus stop, and then 3 Koreans came over. It was a guy and 2 girls. They were probably, you know, a few years younger than us. And it was weird because the cave was kind of in a more rural part of Korea. Like, we took a bus for like 45 minutes outside of Seoul to get there. There was no one else really around, so we're just looking at each other, and these 3 Koreans were coming to us, and they were kind of sitting closer and making their way closer to us, so we're just like, what's happening? And they were like leaning in towards us, and it became kind of clear that they wanted to start a conversation. So then suddenly the guy strikes up a conversation with my friend, and he's like, hey, I just wanted to see if I could practice my English and show my friends how good I am at English with you. Is this okay? She's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. You know, she understood he was probably trying to impress his 2 little friends, and she's already like a very bubbly, friendly person anyway. So no, he asked her name, how long she's been in Korea, what she does. She's asking him questions. Then he's flexing like, oh, my parents sent me abroad to study for a few years. And then his friends on the side like, ooh, like clearly these girls are very impressed. And he was saying how it's important to keep practicing the language because then you'll lose the skill. Attention 여러분. Attention, wait, this is not Spanish. 여러분, 한국어를 공부하고 있어요? 한국말 연습하고 있어요? 시작하고 싶어요. 오늘의 스폰서는 도와줄 거예요. So I started studying Korean on and off since 2014. Today's sponsor is literally where I started everything. I found howtostudykorean.com. Every time you guys DM me on Instagram or you leave a comment on YouTube and ask me how I started to study Korean, I literally always link you back to howtostudykorean.com. I am planning to go back to Korea this winter, probably around January. So I was like, Isis, you know, you've been in Europe for like 2 years. You haven't really been studying Korean. So you should start studying again. So I went back to howtostudykorean.com and I found out they have an app now. So I went to download the app and I saw that it only had like 10,000 downloads, which shook me. I feel like it should have 1 million at least. First of all, one of the things that I think makes this app and service and website just so much more superior and simple is the person who's in charge of this. He is a native English speaker. Someone who natively speaks English can better explain to you. As an English speaker, you might be used to seeing this, but in Korean, it's like this, and that just makes it so much easier for me to understand. It is strictly just Korean. It's incredibly detailed. I know I said this was very detailed, but let me show you guys a little bit of what I mean. This is all very helpful because we all have many different reasons for wanting to learn Korean. Maybe you want to move to Korea, maybe you just want to visit, maybe you want to understand the lyrics better to your favorite K-pop songs and sing along at concerts, maybe you want to watch a K-drama without the subtitles. Whatever your reason, this app is definitely going to help you become more fluent. There are 152 lessons, and each lesson builds on the complexity and makes you sound like more and more of a native Korean speaker. It's more than just technical textbook Korean, it's practical Korean. It's what's spoken by the natives. So go to my languages folder, howtostudykorean.com, browse lessons, and you can see it tracks all your progress. And at the bottom, you notice there's like a few tabs. The first thing is read. So it tells you everything, it explains everything grammatically like you would find in a textbook. One thing that's really important with language learning is you can't just see the word and know the meaning or translation. You have to be able to recognize it when it's spoken to. You can change what type of information you want to quiz yourself on. If you want to practice just hearing Korean, if you want to practice just reading Korean, if you want to see the word in English and you want to test to see if you know the Korean translation for it. Man, 남자, 탁자, table, 저, I. Formal. What I like the most is this vocabulary part because you can do the words at the bottom or you can practice the sentences. And at the top, you can see the Korean and English at the same time. You can see only the Korean. You can see only the English. Now, this is a very independently run website and app. It always shocks me that more people don't use it or haven't heard about it. Over the years since 2014, he's never increased the price. There are no ads whatsoever on the app. The first 8 lessons are completely free, so you can try it out for yourself. Everything you see on the app, every price you see is a one-time fee. For everything I just showed you, up to 152 lessons, you can get everything for just $20. One-time payment of $20. You can also buy specific units. They're like $2.99, $4.99. And like I said, there's 152 lessons, so you more than get your money's worth. It helped me out so much. It's how I got my start and my intro into the Korean language. It's been my absolute go-to since day one, and I will have it linked down below in the description. You can try it out for yourself. I really hope you support them because they've been very nice talking with me so far, and they're kind of surprised that I even wanted to promote this. Okay, now let's get back to the story. So where we left off. Okay, me and my friend Janae were at the bus stop when 3 Koreans came over and wanted to clearly talk with us. And the guy is just like impressing his friends with his English skills. So that's basically what happened to Meg and how she met the guy we're about to introduce. So for the sake of this story, let's call the guy Tae. I can't go too long without making a K-pop reference, especially with BTS, and they're about to leave us soon, so it's a lot more difficult.
It's gonna be harder. It's gonna be whatever you're expecting it is. It's gonna be better. And harder.
What do you mean harder?
It's really hard.
So one day, Meg is out in a cafe by herself enjoying the weather on the terrace, and she has like her school book, so I'm assuming she was studying, when suddenly 3 men approach her. So Tae said, "Hello, may I sit here?" gestured toward the seat. And at first Meg is like, all this space out here, all these seats and options, you want to sit next to me? But apparently she looked up at him and decided it was okay. I'm assuming that means he was real cute. Like, imagine how rude or funny it would have been if she was just like,
Fuck no!
so Tae is the only one who asked if he could sit down, so she thought it would be just him, but his 2 homies also sit down, so she's like, oh, what is happening? So Tae asks her if she speaks English. Meg says yes. So then Tae asks if she wouldn't mind grading his English and his 2 friends and see which of them speaks English the best and sounds most like a native. She said TBH, she wasn't doing anything better that day. Being alone was getting kind of boring, so she was like, YOLO. So one by one, they introduce themselves, they ask her questions, they answer her questions, and they're all having a conversation. But Meg said she had to start being a little more strict because they were all doing really well, so she wanted to get them to try and say words that is really difficult for Koreans to pronounce. Words like February, roller coaster, zipper, girl.
Girl. Girl.
내가 먼저 그거
Girl.
girl
Girl.
girl
오, girl.
Girl.
오, 야.
핑
So after entertaining us for way too long, she decided that Tae was the winner. So you know, now that the little game was done, she said, okay Tae, you're the winner, you did the best. She was kind of expecting them to just be like, oh thank you, bye, have a good day, and leave. That's not what happened. It was pretty clear that Tae was still interested in talking to Meg and getting to know her a little bit more. The friends backed away from the table and was about to leave, and he was just kind of still sitting there like, Now, one thing she did say is he was incredibly awkward. Like, there's some social cues that he may not have.
I thought you were the last woman on Earth. You're not. You try one of these? They're chewy. They, got some fat in them.
So then when she kind of just awkwardly looked back up at him, he said, do you want some more tea? She said she was already in that cafe on the terrace for a really long time and she was kind of ready to go. And his 2 friends started laughing like, ha ha ha, thinking she just wasn't interested in him and that was like her excuse to leave. But she didn't mind his company, she just didn't want to stay at this cafe. So yeah, they were clowning him like, bro, she's not interested, let it go, ha 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 ha. So Tae was like, oh, I'm sorry, like I don't mean to hold you up. And she said, no, it's fine, I don't mind your company, I just don't want to be in this cafe all day. So then Tae's 2 friends reads the room and they decide, oh, this is becoming a thing. We're gonna go because it's awkward, right? So now it's just Tae and Meg. They hit the streets and they're just walking awkwardly with each other trying to find something to do. So Tae breaks the silence and asks her if she's eaten. And she said, to be honest, she was not at all hungry, but she can't resist Korean food and she would love some barbecue at that moment. So that's what they did. They got some Korean barbecue. Samgyeopsal 먹고 싶어요. So to her, they're kind of just aimlessly walking, but he's like glued in his phone trying to look up a really good Korean barbecue spot. She's just kind of walking with him like, this is weird. This is a weird day. So he finally picked a place and they made their way to this Korean barbecue spot. So then she decided to straight up just ask him, like, what made you want to ask me for tea or to spend more time with me? And Tae straight up said, you're pretty and you're funny. So on the train, as they were heading over to the Korean barbecue spot that Tae chose, Meg noticed that an older Korean woman was staring at her. So she kind of just like repositioned herself to get out of the eye line of sight of this woman. And Tae's like, what are you doing? So she said, oh, that woman's staring at me. I'm new to Korea. I'm still not used to being stared at. And then Tae's like, you shouldn't have to get used to that. So then he goes over to the woman. She's like, what are you doing? So Tae goes over to this woman and he asks her, why are you staring at my friend? And respectfully, can you please stop staring at my friend? So then he just walked back over. The lady didn't say anything. She didn't give a reason, but she also continued to stare at Meg. Meg appreciated that effort. Like, that was something unheard of. Have I ever had that happen?
No!
So Meg said Tae was growing on her like a lot in a short time. They just met this afternoon. He was cute, polite, very interesting, and incredibly unpredictable. He was also really quiet, but with acts like that, she could see that he also had this more bold, unpredictable nature. But the whole time she's like, nah, he probably just think I'm asleep with him if he stands out, if he puts in some effort. I know what they think of foreigners. My guard is all the way up. Wakanda. She just imagined him going back to the two homies she met earlier and bragging about conquering a foreigner. So she was like, I'm having fun, but I'm not letting my guard down. So now that they're at Korean barbecue, she decided to ask him, like, how often do you just approach foreigners with that? Like, do you do that often? And he said, honestly, yes, because foreigners are easy to talk to and we're really friendly. I was like, oh, why thank you, we try. Now imagine if she shattered his whole image of what foreigners are like if she really hit him with that fuck no! When he asked, can I sit here? To her surprise, he paid for their meal. After they wrapped up their food, she realized it was getting kind of late and he asked if she had more time to hang out, and she knew in her gut that it was time to get back to her dorm, but she was like, yo, this is one of those unexpected main character days. I'm gonna keep this going and see what happens. Do it for the plot. So he asked her if she wanted to go to an arcade, and she had never been to the arcades yet there, so she was like, yeah, absolutely, that sounds like a lot of fun. And what's cute is they took turns surprising each other by winning each other plushies, and he also did that, you know, that punch machine. And she said he was a really skinny dude, so she was not expecting so much power behind his punch. So now it's like 10 p.m. and she gotta go. Like, it's late. Dorm life, she got study, she got class in the morning. So then Tae offers to walk her back to her dorm and says, oh, a pretty girl should not be out here walking around by herself, it's not safe. She said, what about you? Like, I know my way around, it's no problem. He was like, yeah, you know, I'm a guy, I can catch a bus to my train, I'll be fine. So he walks her home. Again, he's not really saying much, he doesn't talk a whole lot, and she can't really read him. Like, he doesn't act like he's enjoying her company, but he keeps prolonging their time together. And he's not rude, like, he's nice, he's just really, really quiet and to himself. So then they get to the front of her dorm building and he asks her, can I have your number? Can I have your cacao? Do you have Instagram? I want to see you again. She agreed and gave him all of the above. He hugged her and then he left. He didn't try anything.
I'm a perv.
He didn't try to, like, oh, it's late now, can I come up? Nothing. He just left. She said that he was really stoic, and this made me laugh. She said he was an attentive gentleman, a normal guy pretending he was in a K-drama.
3초 안에 말해.
네?
하나,
오빠, 아니,
둘,
제가 실을 잘못한 선배를
셋,
좋아했는데.
땡. 싫어.
아, 그럼 이거라도 받아주세요.
And I kind of get that vibe based on this message so far. So the next morning, Meg texted Tae and asked him how his morning was going so far, and she didn't get a response from him, but she's like, you know, whatever, he's probably busy. So then about a day later, he responded by asking her, do you have a boyfriend? Didn't acknowledge her message from before, just straight up asked her, do you have a boyfriend? She said, no, I only just got to Korea not that long ago. Do you have a girlfriend? He said, no, that's why my friends were laughing at me, because I usually don't have much luck with women. So then he asked her if it would be okay for him to ask her out on like an official actual date. She said, yeah, sure, let's spend some time together and see what happens. And then he asked her if she was free this upcoming weekend. Fast forward to the date. Tae meets Meg at the station and my man's is in a full suit.
As long as I got my suit and tie, I'ma leave it all on the floor tonight.
So she's like, holy shit, where are we going? Because she said she had on some leggings, a blouse, and a light jacket because it was a little chilly at night still. And she's like, do I need to change? Because based on how you dress, where the fuck are we going? And he's like, oh, it's a surprise. Now usually when Korean dudes say they have a surprise for a foreigner, it's a surprise date to like a love motel or a DVD bong. She knows the game, so she's on her toes. She assumed because of the time of day they were meeting for dinner somewhere, it's in the evening. So they head towards Han River, and she's like, okay, so like we're going for a walk in the park, that's lovely. So then she notices a queue of people, a line of people in front of a docked ship on Han River. This boy done booked dinner for two on a Han River dinner cruise. So now she's like, bro, why didn't you let me change? Like, I'm already a foreigner, but now I'm just like a peasant on this ship. He's like, no, it's fine, you look cute.
Oh my god.
I didn't even know you could do that, like a dinner cruise thing. Like, I did go on like a boat cruise. It was just like a tour of the river. I didn't know they served dinner too. That sounds nice. So they go in, they make their way to their like assigned seat or whatever, and then there's an older Korean couple walking towards Tae. Tae stands up to greet them, and she's like, who are these people? So then they sit down with Tae and Meg. Guys, I kid you not, these were his parents. Naturally, Meg is like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? It was bad enough that you didn't let me change for this bougie ass, fancy ass Han River boat cruise party. Now on top of that, I'm meeting your parents dressed like I'm running a Costco real quick. All she could do was laugh. Yep, she just kept laughing. I mean, what the fuck else do you do? You just laugh. What else do you do? Personally, I would have been Rose real quick. I would have jumped off the back of that ship because it's probably the nearest exit.
I mean it. I'll let go.
So Tae explains that because he doesn't date much, as soon as he started talking to his parents about a girl that he liked, they insisted on meeting her right away. So then she's like, okay, fair, cool, sure, but why didn't you let me dress up a little bit? He was like, oh, I wanted you to be more comfortable. A dress and heels is not usually very comfortable, is it? And I'm annoyed because that's like actually so cute and considerate. So then Tae's mom turns to Meg and says, oh, you look so much better in person. So she's like, what do you mean? And Tae's like, oh, I showed them your pictures on Instagram. This just keeps getting better. Tae's dad, meanwhile, was more focused on the menu, but he does make his way to talk to her eventually. And he asks her, what do you think about Korea so far? Like, do you like it? She says it's fun, it's not at all what she expected, and she's really enjoying her time there. Then Tae's dad says, so what do you think of our son? So Meg's like, oh, I really like him. He's so interesting, and I just love how incredibly unpredictable he is. She probably didn't actually say it through her gritted teeth. That's just my imagination and literally what I would do. So Meg addresses the elephant in the room like, yeah, you know, I just met him earlier this week. I had no idea we were coming to this fancy party. I had no idea I was coming to meet you guys, so I apologize for how I'm dressed. I thought we were going to get some barbecue somewhere or some dakgalbi and maybe see a movie, go for a walk. I did not expect to be meeting his parents on a fancy ass boat cruise today.
Oh, the deception, the betrayal, man, you deceived me.
So then his mom laughed and said, ah, life's more fun that way, isn't it? And suddenly everything's starting to make sense for why Tae is the way he is. So they make small talk and they're talking about, you know, traveling abroad and foreigners and all this stuff. And Tae said that his parents used to live in Japan and they've been thinking about going back. And she's like, oh, really? Like, you like Japan more? And they're like, it's not that we like Japan more. It's easier for us to get to with our citizenship. We're thinking about either Canada or Japan because those are easiest for us. Life in Korea has become too mundane. So after that, at this point, it's pretty much Meg talking with Tae's parents, and Tae's just kind of sitting there just eating his food and just... So once dinner was over, she asked if she could go to the deck to get some air and said, Tae, come with me, won't you? So now she can let this all out like, bro, what is happening? I just met you, now I'm meeting your parents. Explain. So he's like, I should have told you, but I like surprises. And like I said, I don't have much luck with girls and women. So as soon as my parents found out that I was talking to a girl I liked, they wanted to meet you. And, you know, she's like, okay, fine, fair enough. Like, I'm interested in getting to know you too, but can we take it down a notch? Like, can we please go a lot more slowly? And then he asked her for a kiss. Bruh. But it's cool. Apparently he was completely just joking. He's like, I'm sorry, bad timing. I was just joking. And that is how this email ends. She said, everything else is going really well so far. This is a very new relationship. They just started seeing each other in the spring, so it's not a whole lot to talk about yet. They're slowly getting to know each other more. And she did say she noticed in the comments how a lot of you guys asked for like part 2s and part 3s and updates. So if you guys would like that, she says she's up for it. She said there's not a whole lot more to tell. You know, they're dating, like they've gone on dates and stuff, but that was by far the most unusual situation that she's been in so far in Korea. She says she's also busy with student life, so it might take her a while, but if you guys would like an update, let me know in the comments. We'll get on that. Please binge my videos. They're put in playlists together. They're about to pop up on the end screen. Please also check out howtostudykorean.com, the app. It is amazing. If you want to get better at Korean, if you want to get fluent, if you really want to understand how Korean works, this is by far my favorite and the absolute best resource out there. Again, it's linked in the description. So thanks for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong!